What happened today? What's going on?
WrestleMania 42 just got wrapped up.
WrestleMania 40. Yep.
Night
Okay,
one
so I have a
was
question.
awful. Night two, oh boy.
Jess, what's your
Question.
question?
Oh boy.
Question.
Yes, teacher.
Daniel knows what I
Teacher.
mean when I say it. The other night you guys were bitching and moaning about how WrestleMania ain't shit, or it looks like it ain't gonna be shit. You
Hmm.
guys were like, it's not sold out. It's getting low reviews. You know, and I saw the highlights of the Pat McAfee fight. It was kind of hilarious, to be honest. Last night you guys didn't seem so thrilled, and tonight you guys seem like happy little campers. So what was better about it? Did it pull it off? Did it surprise you? What was going on? I
Lewis,
didn't I didn't get a
you
chance
or
to see it
me?
because I was out.
I'll go first. I'll touch
Okay.
on it. What was better? The matches were so much better. They were longer, and you kind of just felt the electricity in the air with some of the matches, right? You had matches that people actually like really kind of cared about on this one, and the matches delivered. The matches were really solid. The wrestling, the good
A
old
Rosslyn.
wrestling. Okay, that's pretty much what it was. And then it all culminated with that fucking grand main event where they wrestled for like 25-ish minutes, and it was a back and forth brawl. It was phenomenal, right? It was good storytelling, and both of those guys put on a phenomenal performance. CM Punk and Roman
So
Reigns,
who
that
was in
is.
the final? Oh damn! CM Punk,
Yeah,
not Seth
And
Rollins. I
and
get them
Roman
and
Reigns.
confused.
and Roman Reigns.
Hey, my guy, Mr. Beautiful.
Yeah,
Um,
and it was great. The crowd seemed to enjoy it more, right? The crowd seemed to actually
yeah.
be in it more tonight than they were last night. Too.
WrestleMania recently, since they started doing the 2 day split, and I promise you, you could look at this is not fact. You could just kind of just tell. Every WrestleMania since they did the Saturday Sunday split was one night is dog shit and the other night is phenomenal. There is no perfect day. No perfect, like there hasn't been a perfect 2 day WrestleMania. The situation, night one was terrible and night two was phenomenal. And I think part of it too, because I think a lot of the wrestlers on night one can put on great performances, right? I think Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre did what they could with their time. I think Becky Lynch and AJ Lee could have went on longer. I think Gunther says could have went on longer. Liv Morgan and Stephanie Vaquer could have had a 25-minute classic and could have brought the house down. Same with Cody and Randy. They could have brought the house down. But the length of the matches, and it's not, again, this is not to blame the performers, you just felt like it was still lacking, right? That there was like, they didn't really try to tell a story. Like in wrestling, the story before the match is important, but that has to translate in the match. That's part of what being a professional wrestler is all about. That's the important thing. Can you tell a story in the match? That's the rare breed that gets you to this level. And all of them are capable of doing it. They've all done it. But when you have 10 minutes to work with, 8 minutes to work with, 15 minutes to work with, it's hard to really accomplish that. And that was kind of the problem with night one, is that why Liv Morgan and Stephanie Vaquer are getting 9 fucking minutes
Less than that.
as the co as
Less
the
than that.
co-main event.
They got like 6 minutes.
The co-main event was 8 minutes. The co-main event was 8 minutes long,
Ugh.
right? That is that's the problem. That's the problem that nobody can accept. And I know Liv and Stephanie Stephanie especially could put on a great match. But you're not giving them the opportunity. We're going backwards as a women's division. We went tremendously forward and we're going backwards. How? Besides the point, right? Different conversation, different day. Moving on to night two, I felt like the pacing was better. The match pacing was better. These men and women were given their superstars were given their times, right? They knew what they had to do. They hit their spots, but they were also able to tell their story of their feud and of their match. This is what's happening outside. This is how it translates in the ring, and they were able to do that. And every decision that was made on night 2 made sense, was fair, and I could see the future for it. Every decision that was made for night 1, either I didn't care about or made no sense. That's also part of the problem. And wrestling fans, while some of them can be stupid and like to be Twitter warriors and like to have greasy fingers, some of them are also really smart and intelligent. The ones who are there can just tell when shit is being fucked. And they're not stupid. And like, what is happening right now? Why is this happening? I think night 1, you had that kind of crowd where it was like, what am I watching? What are we watching right now? And night 2, you started with Obafemi and Brock with a result that made sense, and it brought the crowd, it got them going. Like, oh yeah, this is pretty fun. And then the second match, the ladder match, which was just the perfect ladder match. Everybody had their role. They played their role perfectly, and you had a fun, exciting, and entertaining match to get you going for the card. That's what was supposed to happen in night 1 that didn't translate because we made dumb decisions in night 1. But night 2, everything worked. You had time, you had fun, you had comedy, you had great wrestling, great moments, you had right decisions, you had emotional moments. And everyone could get behind it. You didn't piss off the fans, you gave them what we wanted. And when you let that happen, and when you let the fans enjoy and embrace and let them be in the moment, they're going to respond back. That night 1 crowd was dead because you fucked it. They didn't care when we got to Cody and Randy. This night 2 crowd was buzzing for Punk and Reigns. They built up to it. And that momentum swing was perfect going into it. So I think that was kind of the reason too. And I think it felt like a WrestleMania from the jump. Night 2 felt like a WrestleMania. Night 1 felt more gimmicky. More like we're just here to like put them on the card and like here's the pop and here's the moment. Like Liv won the title, 8-minute match. Cody defended. Pat did his thing. Jelly Roll did his thing. They did their spots and they left. They came back out. That's it. There wasn't any story in that. And I got a problem with Cody and Randy, but we'll digress. But yeah, that's kind of how I see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Phenomenal. Yeah, and like
it was really
just
good.
Looking at these matches, Obafemi and Brock. Yeah, Trick Williams on this card. He had, I think, like the shortest match, but it didn't like he had like a 10-minute match. People were like, felt shorter than that. It's kind of a good thing, right? Your match was longer,
Right.
but it felt fast, right? It felt like the pace was there, right? And we give a fuck about Trick Williams. We care. You want to know why? Because he's young and he's hot. He's white hot in the business. That's good. Okay, he's fucking. They say you're over, which means like the fans love you. If you're over, forget about it. And also, Trick Williams might be on the list. Just saying. You know what I mean, Jess?
Might be on Lewis's list.
That's my guy, yo. I really do love Trick Williams. What that? Like it's fun.
He's great.
It's fantastic. It's great.
I have to see a picture of him again.
Oh. Daniel, you or me want to pull it up?
Let's see who's faster.
You got
I'm
it.
doing it on the phone. I'm not gonna do it on the computer.
Yeah.
No, not
Not.
not that.
Now, for context, he is like 6'5", like 250.
We'll go with this one.
Pounds.
Oh. Oh, he's okay. I can't see his face that well, but the body's good.
Hang on. I'm scrolling.
He's okay. You hear this?
Oh, this is a good one.
Greed.
Yeah, I mean the body's great.
He just wants that perfect face. That's the problem.
Right?
No. Now Roman Reigns got a beautiful face. Beautiful.
Oh,
Beautiful.
Okay,
you gotta show
that's
her.
that's
That's
the
Trick
face.
Williams.
Oh, he's okay. Yeah, he's okay. He's good looking.
Good looking kid. And he's like 29? 28, 29. He's young. He's like one of the futures of the business with
No,
Obafemi.
he's attractive for sure.
And then
31.
man, that main event. They put on a banger. You know what I mean? They put on a fucking banger of a match. Let me tell you. Like it was just you just felt it in the atmosphere that this night was just it had more like electricity, had more juice,
Right.
had more going for it, you know. So yeah, that's what I thought about it. Night one,
But I feel like
dog shit.
well, night one was very stop and go, and I feel like this one was more. It crescendoed better. Like you built, like every match built upon itself. Like you left satisfied. Night one was where like, okay, I show speed. Did that great.
Oh, that's the one highlight I didn't get to see that they weren't replaying over and over again. I have to look at that one.
Interesting.
How was it?
Well, the match was like 7 minutes long, so
It was 7 minutes long.
not much.
I
to
mean,
replay.
I'm gonna give Speed credit. He did his thing. He did what he was asked to do. Everyone kind of did what they were supposed to do. They all played their part, but it was nothing more than that. That's kind of how night one felt. It was very expected. So that's pretty much it. But yeah, that one everything was like, yeah, I kind of knew that. Yeah, I kind of figured that. Why was that 8 minutes? Why was that 7 minutes?
Now,
That should have been longer.
do you think it was because they needed to fit the ad for Nature Made multivitamins in there, or they needed to fit in the Poland Spring ad, brought to you by Poland Springs?
Oh,
hold on, guys.
I have the number.
This episode of the Get Back is brought to you by Cars. Guys, hold on. I
Good
need to
chow.
find another thing. Guys, this episode of the Get Back is sponsored by Blistex. Hydration for your lips.
You can't say that.
Hold on. I gotta find something else. Guys, this episode of the Get Back is
Sponsored
sponsored
by
by
Puerto Rico.
the $20 bill.
This episode is sponsored by Jalen Brunson bobblehead.
God.
Get yours at NBAshop.com. You know what I mean? Like that's how it felt.
This is
I have a
sponsored by the
question.
easy button.
son.
I'm gonna text you, Daniel, because it's nothing to do with the show, but with the movie that I'm watching. So I'm just gonna text it to you.
Okay, fair enough. But man,
Okay.
like Daniel, there were just so many fucking ads. Like everyone was complaining. Like there was more.
Well-
there was just a little bit less advertisements in total than total match time for the whole night one. There was like 1 hour 24 minutes for the total match time, and then 1 hour and like 15 minutes for the ads.
So,
That's a
so
lot.
Jess, this was WrestleMania Night 1 was a 3-hour, 55-minute show, right? 98 minutes were dedicated to the matches, right? So that's over an hour and a half. 61 minutes was dedicated to the entrances, right?
Mhm.
And then 57 minutes were dedicated to commercial breaks. So you had, and there were 6 matches on the card.
Well,
6.
that kind of makes sense, I guess. But that's still a lot of commercials.
We never used to get commercials. That's the first part. The second part
Ooh.
was that when we did get commercials, there are maybe like 1 or 2. But if you were in the arena, or like you had, like when they were on Peacock,
Well, that's
for example,
their way of bringing in more money. And they get the
right?
sponsors, they get the commercials.
Fair,
you know?
fair, and sponsors pay a lot of money for this as well.
But no,
I
it
agree with that.
waters down the event for sure. It's shit.
But
It's the
But Jess,
shitification.
you remember when we went to the Raw? How during a
Yeah.
commercial break on TV, they play the commercial.
Yeah.
They give you an ad in the arena,
hmm
right? So when you used to go to WWE live events, like the PLEs, like the pay-per-views, whatever, or like when they were on Peacock, what they would show would be like a 5-minute video package of like the feud, like the promos, the brawls, like the whole setup to the match you're about to see, so that you have a refresher of what you're about to see. They don't do that anymore. Now you just get straight 4 minutes of ads. And if you're on Netflix, you get a promo for the Hulk Hogan documentary, which I heard was terrible. I heard if you were on Netflix, you saw that documentary the entire
Wait,
time.
it was available on Netflix? I thought it was on Netflix for
Internationally.
international only. Okay. I was gonna say, what the fuck? I looked for this damn thing.
Internationally. Get a VPN.
Yeah. So you could watch your fucking Skittles commercial in fucking Brazilian or something. Like that's how it felt. And the ads were crazy as well again for night 2. It's just watered it down. Like we literally have to sit through 5 minutes of ads. That's this show could have been what? Night 2 maybe could have been 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Mhm.
But instead it was 3 and some change. Why? Like they could fit it in, and they also could have fitted in more matches.
Yep.
If every match is 5 minutes,
and keep in mind we had an ad before every match. We had the ring littered with ads, and we had tables with ads on them, as well.
And also, wouldn't they like when you know how like sometimes in like sports they'd still have the thing playing, but then the whole like 60% of the screen turns into an ad. It's like Slim Jim bite into a pack or some shit, but they're still playing the fucking actual thing. Like that's what they're doing too.
He was really close to the slogan. You were really close to the slogan though.
Yeah, and pack of
snap it to a Slim
snap it to whatever that dumbass shit. Like they were just doing that.
Commercials used to be so funky.
Doing that the entire time, so it's like. So it's genuinely annoying, especially when the matches are 3 minutes, 7 minutes, 10 minutes, 8 minutes. It's like, brother, I'm getting, and then the entrance. I get it. It's WrestleMania. Entrances are cool. Not a fucking wrestling match. I'm watching somebody walk to the ring.
But I get it. Disney. $20 trillion corporation.
Mm-hmm.
Got to get their bottom line somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
yeah, fucks the
piece of shit. But overall, night 2, fantastic.
Night 2 was great. The wrestling was great.
Saved Triple H's job. Saved his job.
It did.
Saved him.
He locked the fuck in.
They locked in. Night
2. They locked in. He locked in. And I feel. That felt like they remembered who they were. Like that felt like a WrestleMania. That felt like an old school, pay-per-view. That felt like, okay, I could feel better about this. And that's kind of how I feel with WWE. I feel like half the time it's deplorable, which was night 1. And then half the time I'm like I'm brought back to how it used to be and how I used to love this brand. I used to love this company, how great wrestling could be, the magic behind it. Right? There's a magic to this thing that I feel like they lost with night 1 and they recaptured with night 2. And I feel that way about half the time when I watch wrestling. Some matches I'm like, in some moments I'm like, I don't understand. Like, what are we doing here? And sometimes I'm like, yeah, that's how it should be.
Yeah.
That made sense. So that's kind of where they are the company. There was the perfect WrestleMania for that. That's the pulse of WWE right now is WrestleMania 42. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
Sometimes it may be good, and sometimes it may be shit.
I'm glad you got that reference. So this was just out cheat.
Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
Sometimes it may be shit. No, I think that kind of encapsulates. That was WrestleMania. It was good and it was bad. It just all of the bad was in one night and all of the good was in the second night.
Yeah, there was no oh, this is good, now it's up and down. It's no up and down. It was all the way down and then all the way up. You went to the basement and then you went to the attic.
And I want to stress too, when I talk about the bad, I'm not blaming the wrestlers.
No,
they did the best they could. I actually really liked the matches from night 1. The decisions and the pacing and the production and the writing behind those matches, I thought was dumb. But the actual match itself, I didn't have a problem with.
Now,
I wanted more. I wanted a lot more,
whose
but
fault
we
is
didn't get that.
Daniel? Triple fraud. Triple K. Paul Levesque. Fucking piece of shit.
And also TKO for having an hour and a half of advertisements.
That's crazy. That's just crazy. That's crazy.
It is what it is.
Capitalism.
Yep.
That's what that
Capitalism.
is.
Yep, that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
This is the greed they talk about in the Bible.
Dead ass. It literally is. It is just fucking the greed they talk about in the Bible.